right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Prophecy Masterclass. If this isn't a testament to the potency of this masterclass, I just want you to know that Zoom wouldn't work. We've had lots of technical issues because what I truly have to share is so powerful, is so potent. And I wanted to be able to do it on Zoom so that I could have full transparency in what I was saying. So now that we've had to get creative and come and do this on Facebook Live, please know that I may have to use some code words. So I want you to show me some love by commenting below, Prophecy Masterclass, say hello, where in the world you are tuning in from. I am so honored to be able to share this knowledge and this wisdom with you. I guarantee that this is going to be worth your time, and I want to really thank you from deep within my soul for being here. So, like we would on a normal masterclass, if you are watching me on, like in Zoom, I want you to comment along in the chat and really interact with each other. So I welcome all of you, the seekers, the light workers, the change makers, and the visionaries of the world. I want to ask you a really powerful question. Are you ready to fulfill the prophecy? Let me know. Yes? Are you ready? Are you in? Let's hear it. Let's see. Let's celebrate those of you that truly know you are here to fulfill this prophecy. So I'm seeing all of you. We're tuning in from Australia. We're tuning in from New Zealand. Hello. I know that we have heaps of different places as well in the world, trying to figure out where this is happening. As I said, the powers of be do not want me to share this information. The powers of be do not want you to know what I'm going to be telling you, because it will change everything. It will change how you look at the world, how you see yourself in the world, and how you play and create in this world. So I would love for you to fully be present, to honor this soul-aligned decision that you've made to be here. And so I welcome all of you. So I have my notes here, and feel free to make any notes and how you want to play. What's going to help more people as well is if you do lots of love hearts on the screen, if you share what is landing for you, what you're receiving as I speak, knowing that this is going to be so much more than just the words that you hear. It's also going to be an energetic recoding that is happening through what I'm saying. So allow yourself to fully receive body, mind, and soul what the Prophecy Masterclass has for you. So I'm loving seeing those of you that are claiming that you are here to fulfill the prophecy. But I also know that there are many more of you currently watching and you haven't claimed it. Why? So let's all claim, yes, we are here to fulfill the prophecy. So I want to take you back a little bit into the decades, right? So 2012 to 2022 was what we call the decade of awakening. So from 2012 to 2022, who feels like they maybe had a spiritual awakening? Like you kind of went, whoa, maybe there's a bit more to this life. Maybe you went through something really traumatic. Maybe you experienced the death of a loved one. Maybe you went through losing your job. Maybe you went through something that health stuff. Maybe you went through something, right? So from 2012 to 2022 was the decade of awakening. So when we talk about awakening, what we truly are saying is that we're awakening from the matrix. We're awakening from the illusion, the simulation that we are currently in life. And I want to say to all of you, yes, you are in a simulation until you awaken. So, yeah, lots of you are saying 2012 to 2022, oh my gosh, big things happened, right? The most challenging times of your life. Lots of you went through the death of a loved one or something really traumatic. Why? Because sometimes we have to have these things snap us out of our day to day, in the grind kind of thing, and how we're living our lives. And so what happened was from 2012 to 2022, a lot of people started to become a little bit more open to, I want to say, spiritual things. All right. So we're talking things like meditation became quite cool and quite mainstream. Psychics became quite cool and quite mainstream. Healing became quite cool and quite mainstream. So we've had so much more of a spiritual front happening that became more mainstream, that became more available to the everyday person, as opposed to like our grandmothers who kind of did this in their basement, right? Do we get that? So mindfulness, exactly. People became aware of their mindset. I want you to write this down, that thoughts create things. Now, I'm sure you have heard this being said time and time and time again, but I want you to really understand this, because we're going to dive into consciousness and why you have been spun the biggest lie and BS of a lifetime. So I want you to write down, my thoughts create things. So in 2012 to 2022, we had to awaken. We had to go, wait a minute, there's got to be more to this life. There's got to be a little bit more than meets the eye. Right? Exactly. Reiki became the new black. Yes, it did. Right? We started to see so many more things coming into the world. Now, I was one of those people who in 2012 started a spiritual business. So September 12, 2012, Melissa Espinasse decided to become a psychic medium and do readings at her dining room table. And 11 years later, here I am, changing and empowering the lives of thousands of people all around the world. I am so blessed to do what I do, and I feel so blessed to have been part of this mass awakening of the world that has happened in the last decade. Now, 2023 to 2033 are going to be the most pivotal years in human history. This decade is the decade of ascension. So we had 2012, 2022 is awaken. 2023 to 2033 is ascension. And so we saw a lot of things kind of happen right from, let's say, 2019 to 2022. We had something that affected the whole world. Now, we don't need to say what that thing is, because we all know what it is, and we don't want to give power to it. But we had this thing, right, that I want to say backfired. Because what it did, this thing, was it made people curious. It made people go, well, wait a minute, things don't quite add up. Why am I being told this? Why am I being forced into this? Why? And people started to open up and switch up. And so what happened was they tried to suppress the awakening, because they knew if they didn't make this happen by 2023, that they had lost. That these powers that truly want to suppress your human experience, that want to destroy your human experience, that want to take away your soul, the essence of who you are, right? Those beings that are not of light and that are not of love, they wanted to make sure that we hadn't awakened. And they threw everything at us to make us go, oh, wait a minute, let's not think for ourselves. Let's not tap into the knowledge and wisdom of our hearts and our souls. Let's listen to what everybody else is saying, and let's just make really unaligned decisions about ourselves and our bodies and our lives. And so they tried. They tried, but failed. Can we all put in the comments, we have won, with a love heart? We have one with a love heart. Let's go. We have one with a love heart, and then I want you to blast the screen with lots of love hearts on the screen. And so now that this happened, right, and we've awakened, we are now ascending. And ascending means to rise. To rise in what, really, is the question. To rise in our human potential. I am loving seeing that we have ones. Thank you. I'm going to let the Galactic Council just speak to you for a minute through light language, because this is felt really deeply. Right? Araki means love. Let's put love in capital letters in the comments, in the chat, wherever this is live for you. So the decade of ascension is going to be where humans, those that have awakened, are going to change the world. We are changing the world. And we're not changing the current world, the matrix that we are in. We are changing the world by creating a new one. And so you will have heard many people talk about 3D to 5D, the great human ascension. You will have heard people talk about the new earth. And if you're in my world, you will have heard me talk about this stuff all the time. I'm so deeply passionate about this because this is the mission. This is what we are doing. And so we will change the world by creating a new one. This is the decade of ascension. The earth will change its frequency from 3D to 5D. And don't worry, I'm going to explain all of what that means in just a hot minute. It's going to change its frequency from 3D to 5D by 2033. Now, 2023 is a pivotal year. It is a 7-year in numerology, which means it's the year of spirituality. It is the year of deep connection to source, to soul. And if you're not taking part in spiritual development and personal development, you're going to miss the boat. And you're not going to necessarily do the thing that we're all here to do, right? My favorite angel number is 7. I love that. We can all type in 777, right? Let's do it. Let's raise the vibration. And so in this decade of ascension, the highest, the most precious thing that you can have is your consciousness. And what have the powers of be tried to rid you of? Their ability for you to think for yourself, to have the ability to tap into your own consciousness. So if you're not connecting to your heart, to yourself, to what your soul is guiding you, then you're going to get caught in this trap, in this master plan to eradicate humans. And why is eradicating humans important? I'm going to dive into that as well as we dive in. But I want you to know that the greatest asset you have is your mind. And so you want to make sure that you are surrounded with people who are empowering you, that are reminding you of your greatness, that are reminding you of that infinite potential that you are. And so in this decade of ascension, what we are going to see is we're going to rise in our own ability to be the universe in physical form. I want you to remember that you are an individualization of the universe. You are not just an itty bitty human walking about life going, I'm this itty bitty human, right, doing life. You are so much more than that. You are an individualization. You are a spark of this universe in physical form, which means you get to create these thoughts that you have. And thoughts, I want you to think, is consciousness. The thoughts in your mind are consciousness. So where is your consciousness right now? Is it positive? Is it of light? Is it of love? Or is it of sabotage, hardship, struggle, lack, scarcity. There's this programming in the matrix, right? And we all enter the matrix. No one is immune to the matrix, by the way, right? No one. As soon as you're born into human life, boom, you're in the matrix until you awaken. And that's why we often have tragedies. We also often have these hard things happen to make us seek more, right? Love all the way. Absolutely. Right? We can even do little love hearts on the screen, right? And so, what was I saying? I was going somewhere and then I got distracted. Must have been a lie. What was I saying, honey? I don't remember either. Anyway, so let me go back to ascension. Thoughts are consciousness. So your thoughts are ruling the show, and you've been programmed to think negatively. You've been programmed to believe that you are separate, that you have limitations, that you have to do this in order to have that, that there has to be conditionings, that success is only available for a selected few, that abundance is not available to you. You've been programmed that you're not beautiful, that you are doomed to fail, and all of these things have been programmed. You only have to look at how you think. And you've been programmed through society, through religion, you've been programmed through movies, social media, you've been programmed through music, through it all. You only have to wake up in the morning and check your phone and boom, you're programmed into a reality that does not serve you. Unless, of course, you have someone like myself in your life that truly reminds you of the potential and power that is within you. So thoughts is consciousness. And so what's happening in this decade of 2023 to 2033 is we are rising in consciousness. We are saying no more. No more will we be manipulated, coerced, ruled to live in fear. All of that stuff I want you to say powerfully now in the comments out loud that you release this manipulation of your consciousness. I release all binds to the manipulation of my consciousness. And I choose to align with love, with light, with God, with source, with the universe. Because that's what it's about. So this decade is massive. And we will start to see a huge shift. So in order to kind of understand how the earth is going to happen, I will need to kind of explain the earth incarnations to you. So earth has had 4 different incarnations. I'm going to call it earth, right? But I just need to explain the history of our earth a little bit so that you understand, right, what is going on. This grand scheme, the prophecy. So the first incarnation of earth was called Tara. Now, Tara, originally when Earth was created by consciousness, because remember, consciousness creates physical reality. When Earth was created, it was a 5D planet. This is important because remember, by 2033, Earth will once again be a 5D planet. Now, Tara, when Tara was the planet, it was more something that we came to experience love in physical form from the elements. All right. So in Tara, you came to experience love of the tree, of the ocean, right? We weren't necessarily in physical bodies. We could shapeshift. We could be the tree and feel the love. We could be the flower. We could be the whale. We could be all the things that, I don't know if whales were in Tara, but you get the idea, right? So the point of Tara was such a rich, I want to say, planet that we could experience what the universe felt like in the sense of light and love. So Tara in its frequency was very beautiful. When you felt the love of the ocean, you could feel how it is to be the universe. You could experience that. Now, what happened was the fallen angels came through the Lyran Stargate and they came to Earth to hide. And because of their toxicity, their darkness, what they did is they contracted the Earth. And Earth went from being a 5D planet to a 3D planet. And so it's the toxicity, the negativity, the darkness took the light out of Tara and it made it this dense planet. Now, if you have a look around, Earth is a physical world. You are a physical body, right? The table is physical. Everything is physical, right? So then what happened is new life came to be on Earth. And the next incarnation that we have is Lemuria. Now, Lemuria is super important. We have to really go deep into Lemuria because Lemuria is the game changer for this prophecy. Now, Lemuria was a beautiful incarnation on Earth where a lot of the beings were, I want to say, more of Arcturian kind of descent. So they were blue kind of beings. They lived in beautiful harmony. It was full of love, full of joy. And Lemurians were very good alchemists. They were able to shapeshift, heal themselves, manifest anything they wanted, bring thought into physical creation. It was a beautiful incarnation. And then the next incarnation, which most of you have heard of, is Atlantis. So with Atlantis, think Aquaman, right? You think Aquaman, Jason Momoa, right? So think Atlantis. They've got it pretty good, I feel, with one of the kingdoms. Now, Atlantis was also a very fruitful time in Earth in its incarnation. What happened, however, is the Atlanteans wiped out the Lemurians because they were jealous of their alchemy, of what they were able to do and how they worked with the universal power of creation. And they wanted to understand that. And they did a lot of experiments and a lot of not very nice things to the Lemurians, and they wiped them out. And then what happened was, because of how Atlanteans were embodying life, they were wiped out. And the surviving Atlanteans ended up in a few places around the world, and that is Egypt and, of course, South America. So here you have two big playing continents, right? Africa and South America. This is where the Atlanteans settled. And then the next incarnation that was then created was Gaia. And we are currently in Gaia now. So this incarnation that we are living in, you and me as Melissa, is Gaia. Now, Gaia is going to shift. We are creating a new incarnation. You have chosen this life for a reason. I want you to really understand that this is the most significant life that you have in all of the lives that you have lived so far. This is the game changer. You will see the creation of the new earth this lifetime because you are the ones creating it. So the next incarnation is the new earth. We don't know what that is called yet. It hasn't got a name, and that is why we reference it as the new earth. I truly believe that there is going to be two earths. One which literally two earths, two dimensions of earth. One which is the new earth and one which stays as the 3D planet. You don't want to stay there. So I highly recommend that you are very much part of my world and ascend and do the stuff, right? So what I want you to understand is that what happened on Atlantis is replaying out on Gaia. So if we have a look, right, at Atlantis, it was a very fruitful time, but then there was this hunger for power. And the different kingdoms, because there were 3 different kingdoms in Atlantis. We had the air kingdom, think dragons, and then we have the land kingdom. So think here you've got things like unicorns, you've got, your fairies, you've got that kind of energy as well. And then you've got the water kingdom, which is your mermaids, all of that kind of stuff. So who's ever felt like they are a mermaid? Who's ever felt like, oh, yes, I have mermaid? My eldest daughter, Chloe, who I imagine most of you know, is an absolute mermaid. She's had a very, very significant lifetime as a mermaid in Atlantis. And that is why swimming is her joy. Like when she's in the swimming pool, she is like, or in the ocean, she is like, life is amazing. So if you've ever felt that way, you most likely have a significant past life as a mermaid in Atlantis. So shout out to all my mermaids. Yes, Anita's like, I've been a mermaid and it's all coming back. Exactly. Now, what happened in Atlantis is happening on Earth right now. And we are, in a sense, being wiped out. And it's going to be the surviving few that are going to create the new Earth. Now, I don't say this to scare you. I say this to empower you. For you to be the person that actually does the mission, that fulfills the prophecy. If you are here and you made a declaration that you want to fulfill the prophecy, then this is where it changes. So you will be creating the new Earth. Yeah, I knew there were a lot of mermaids here. Tiger Lily, Angie, Megan. Yeah, I see you ladies being mermaids. Right? So I truly believe the Water Kingdom was probably the most beautiful in Atlantis, and probably the one that fell the least. And that's why we have so many remnants of Atlantis still being underwater. Right? But basically what happened on Atlantis is happening on Earth right now. Now, what's important to know is that the new Earth is very similar to the energy of Lemuria. And this is why Lemuria is the game changer and why tapping into our energy of Lemuria is so important, because Lemuria is still on Earth right now. Right? And it is in the grids of Lemuria are on Earth right now, and they are in New Zealand, in Australia, in Hawaii, and in some parts of Asia. Now, when you go to these places, when you go to New Zealand and Australia and Hawaii, there is this incredible energy when you arrive on the land. Why? Because it is the remnants of Lemuria. And so Lemuria, I promise we'll dive into why Lemuria is so important, but Lemuria is our guide to the new Earth we are creating. Okay, so Lemuria is the new Earth that we are creating. And we're using this knowledge, we're using the grids, we're using the templates of Lemuria to help us create this new Earth. So this is really important. If you aren't exploring the codes of Lemuria, it's going to make this ascension process really hard, and we're not going to be able to fulfill our mission. So what I want you to keep in mind, Gaia and Atlantis playing out. Lots of different eras in Atlantis, lots of different eras in Gaia. We're now coming to this new Earth. So what is the cosmic plan, I hear you asking? Yes, this is so fascinating. You're so welcome. I'm glad you're here. And they're just like, this is so exciting. It is. It is if you truly get it. And this is why I invite you to keep staying on. I want you to blast the screen with lots of love hearts if you are resonating with this message. So what is the cosmic plan? So when Earth was Tara and it fell, and it contracted back to a 3D planet because of the fallen angels, the Galactic Council, I want you to think Green Lantern. Who's watched Green Lantern? And in that movie, there's a whole bunch of different beings from different planets that get together and make a council, okay? So I want you to kind of imagine something like that, like in the Green Lantern movie. Now, this is not, I don't get paid by Ryan Reynolds to promote the Green Lantern, but wouldn't it be nice, right? Wouldn't it be nice if I did. Who knows? But I want you to kind of imagine, right, the Green Lantern with the council. So the Galactic Council got together and they were like, Earth is a really resourceful planet, and Earth is a really important planet for ascension. And so they decided 300,000 years ago that Earth was going to go back to being a 5D planet, and that the human was going to be the key. Now, here is what happens. 300,000 years ago, members of the Galactic Council gave us a strand of their DNA. Now, we come from a 12th dimensional galaxy. How many strands of DNA do we have? We have a 12-strand DNA. And so our galaxy that we are part of, the universe that we are part of, has 12 different dimensions. And we were given a strand from each of these different dimensions in the creation of the human. So we are actually a hybrid. We are not actually indigenous, if that kind of makes sense. We are in this human body specifically created for this process. Ain't that a little bit trippy? All right, let me know. Whoa! If you're like, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, I know if you're in a lot of my things, you've heard this before. But hopefully I'm sharing it with you in a different way and that it's landing. So then we have Lemuria and we have Atlantis. And what happened was we were these humans that were then bred with the Atlanteans and the Lemurians. And so then what happened is we are who we are now, right? So this 12-strand DNA is really important because your 12-strand DNA holds very special codes that are embedded in your DNA for this very reason. And so what does that mean? Throughout all of time and space in our Gaia incarnation, these powers of darkness and of, I want to say, opposite of love, right? Try to suppress our ability to tap into these codes in our DNA. And because they knew that the human mind was going to be the gateway, because remember, thoughts create things, and thoughts is consciousness. They were like, the greatest way to stop this ascension is to manipulate the humans through the mind. And one of the biggest cons of all time, and I mean this from a place of love, has been religion. I believe if we unpack religion, it is so beautiful in its essence and its messages and its teachings. But it is how religion has been governed that has been the biggest con of all time. And so religion has played a part in making you believe that there is this God Almighty power that kind of governs things, and you're this itty bitty human, and if you do something good, God will reward you, but if you do something bad, you will spend the rest of time in hell. Right? So I was born and raised a Catholic. So I want to say that for me, there are so many beautiful teachings in the Bible, but it's how they have been spun, or how any message of the Quran or any of the things have been spun to suit an agenda. And that is what we have to remember. There are a few things, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, there is Agenda 21, right? Is something that I don't recommend you go down the rabbit hole, but I also need you to keep in mind there is Agenda 33. Why? Because that is when the earth will ascend. It will shift if we do our part. And as I've said to you, right, we have already won. So it is already done. They have lost. Their great plan of this thing that they put on planet Earth in 2019 and tried to like get us to fall for didn't work. Okay? It didn't work. It backfired. And it backfired big time. So 300 years ago, you were created so that your human body could hold this consciousness and rise the earth. Ain't it super duper cool? Let me know if you were like, whoa, this is awesome. So our 12-strand DNA has a lot of secrets, has a lot of codes, has a lot of things that are going to be activated. And our physical bodies right now are going through a detox. Who is feeling that they have become maybe less tolerant to certain foods or certain environments, or you're just like, I don't want to hang around negative people, or whatever it is? Your body is starting to shift to hold more light. And this light we call plasma. So I want you to write the word plasma light down. And if you want, one of my favorite emojis is like the beaming light thing. Some of you I know will know because I've been using it to promote prophecy, right? So we are part of this prophecy. We are part of this 300,000 year plan in which we were created. And so then the plan was that our 12-strand DNA was going to help activate this 12-strand of consciousness, okay? That it was going to help us to elevate from the matrix, from the darkness of this world that has us failing from the moment we take our first breath, right? And so I just want to make sure that I'm covering all the things that I've got. Yeah, so it's in consciousness that we will create the new earth. So I want you to really keep in mind of the thoughts that you have. Are your thoughts of love? Are your thoughts of unity, of oneness? Are your thoughts in service to the world? Or are your thoughts of me, 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 me? Because guess what? That's what happened in Atlantis. In Atlantis, it became all about the self as opposed to all about consciousness and of service, of oneness. And so we're seeing it playing out here in humanity, right? So I really want you to start being mindful of what kind of thoughts are ruling the computer that is your mind, because they are very clever. They are very clever at putting these programs in your mind that make you believe that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you're not deserving, that you don't have magical powers to manifest what you want. It is so well done. I must applaud them. Well done. You're very smart, but guess what? They forgot something. They forgot our spirit. And our spirit is the greatest force. And we have this human spirit, and we see it when disasters happen and everything. We have this getting together, uniting as one spirit. Why? Because we are all an individualization of the universe. We all are the universe. Every single one of you is God, is the universe. There is no separation. The biggest lie that you believe is that you believe life is happening to you, as opposed to life happening through you. You are not cursed. You are not doomed and all the things. No. Life is happening through you. It is not happening to you. And that is a big shift in consciousness. Okay? So you've been programmed to feel disconnected. How many of you have been like, I feel lost, I feel stuck, right? And you're just like walking about going, I feel lost, I feel stuck, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like a floppy fish out in the world, right? And so I want to really remind you of your power. And so this cosmic plan was set to happen for 2033. And so throughout all of time, right, we have seen humans getting distracted, fighting for things, fighting for power, fighting for all the things that really don't matter as a distraction, to keep us in fear, to keep us from not being able to think for ourselves. The greatest power you have is discernment. Now, discernment means to think for yourself, to be able to go, okay, I've received this piece of information. Does it feel good or not to me? Do you think for yourself, or do you allow the government and the education system and healthcare and everyone to tell you the answers? The answers are in you. When you go deep within, this is when you do spiritual work. And when you do, I don't mean work as in like being a psychic, right? I mean work as in like taking time to connect to your own spirit. You connect ultimately to the universe. And so if we can deter you from connecting to yourself, to feel disconnected, I don't feel good in my body. I can only do this job because this is the only education I have, or I can't make money, or I can't do this and I can't do that. If you are so distracted with the outer, then you're not going to go in, are you? And so this is the distraction. This is what's happening. This is why they have like Netflix, so you can binge Netflix and not take time to go within, right? Shout out to anyone else who binges Netflix, right? But you get the idea. So I want you to really come to the realization and understanding that you are so much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. And that your whole life you have been lied to, and that is disgusting. I'm disgusted by these lies that we believe. That we believe that we are separate to one another, that we are separate to the universe, that we cannot have the lives that we see in our hearts and in our minds when we close our eyes and we just go, it just can't happen for me. This isn't true. You are the universe. You are infinite. Everything and anything is available to you, and I want you to write that down. Anything and everything is available to me. Anything and everything is available to me. Anything and everything is available to me. Anchoring that in. Akashakorokana inkarakina rokoda kashakarakina orokena makena shnakarakuna araki araki araki. So we are part of this cosmic plan. You didn't choose your life here on Earth by chance. No one thought, oh, I know, I'll come to planet Earth now, right? I'll just go to planet Earth. No, this has been very calculated as a being for you. Your soul knew you were going to be on planet Earth right now, and it decided to work backwards and evolve right into the person that you are going to be today. And you have spent lifetimes acquiring the skills, acquiring the knowledge, acquiring the relationships and all of the things so that you could be you today. So that you could be this badass woman, right, who is going to change the world. And when we say change the world, we mean creating a new one, creating the new earth. You are not you by chance. You are you very calculated by your soul. And so I want you to take a minute. Put your hand on your heart. Put your left hand on your heart. Take a deep breath. And I want you to just thank your soul for everything that it went through for you to be this person that you are today. And I want you to say, thank you, soul. Thank you, soul, for leading me here to be part of this cosmic plan. I'm going to be part of fulfilling the prophecy, and I am honored. I am grateful. I'm excited. Let's do this thing. Can you feel your own energy emanating through you? This power. Can you feel it? Can you feel the tingles all over your body that is activating as we speak and we go, oh my goodness. Yes, it's giving you goosebumps. Absolutely. Goosebumps are a sign that your soul is speaking to you. So this is the prophecy. 300,000 years ago, the Galactic Council went, okay, we're going to create a breed that is going to hold the codes to be able to allow the physical body to ascend. Now, the reason this is so important is because none of the beings in our 12th dimensional galaxy can ascend beyond our galaxy in physical life if we don't go through this ascension process. And so over 300,000 years ago, you as a soul decided to sacrifice your life in these other higher worlds. And we have Lyran, 12 to 10th dimension. We have Arcturus, 7 and 8 dimension. We have Sirius, which is 5 and 6 dimension. And we have the Palladians, which is 4th dimension. So you sacrificed your life from one of these dimensions, which is so awesome, to come and do Earth, to come and have this Earth experience, to be part of the ascension. There is no luck, or I want to say like has a chance as to why you are on planet Earth right now. This is a 300,000-year-old prophecy that we are here to fulfill. We have waited eons and lifetimes to be able to rise in consciousness, to evolve our bodies. Remember, we were really short and now we've become taller. Why? Because a lot of the beings in our dimensions and our galaxies are 4 times the size. Arcturians, for example, are big blue beings. Think of Avatar, by the way. I bang on and on about how Avatar is so much like what Arcturus is like. And think, they are 4 times our size. We've gotten taller. Why? Because we are rising to the light. We are rising. The plasma light is shifting our DNA and it's making us rise. We're becoming taller. And we can see that because we look at the doors, right, from like medieval times and things like this, and we were really short and we've gotten taller. And you look at it and you look at your children and you look at like your grandparents and how we've gotten taller. So we're rising to the light. And so I want you to think of rising in consciousness as, actually, I want you to share with me what you think rising in consciousness means. What do you think it means? Let me know. What does rising in consciousness mean to you? There is no right or wrong answer. Okay. I thought we were born. We are born, absolutely, in this physical life. But what's happened is over time, right? We have become the human. We've evolved just like other species on planet Earth have evolved. I mean, look at, I don't know, they say birds were originally dinosaurs. So, we've all evolved, we've changed, we've shifted to adapt to new technologies and all the things that are going on, right? So we definitely are born, but we were created as a hybrid 300,000 years ago and bred, right, with the Atlanteans and the Lemurians. And those of us that survived have created, as I've said, the settlements in Egypt and South America that then kind of spread the world. Because we have to remember back then, the world was all together. It wasn't these separate continents as it is now. So we kind of have to backtrack a little bit. I can't fit everything into one masterclass, but I just want you to kind of understand you were created. I don't know if it's a laboratory per se, but you were created with technologies far greater than what we have on planet Earth to create this body that you now occupy. So what is rising in consciousness means? Expanding into love, using love as the basis for our decisions. Love that. Awareness, becoming the energy of love, spiritual connection and unity, non-judgmental. I love your answers. Thank you so much. Let's put some love on the video, in the comments, right? So I'm going to share with you what I also believe rising in consciousness means. So feeling lighter within myself and my thoughts, to love myself and others for their individuality, rise up to sit in your own deliciousness. Oh, Anita, have you been around Melissa a little bit too much? Because deliciousness is how I describe everything. I love the word deliciousness. It is like my word. So rising in consciousness, if I really break it down, has several parts. And the first one is awakening out of the illusion. So I've talked about this. The matrix of the world is the illusion. You're in a simulation. Think of like The Sims. If any of you have ever played the Sims computer game, I mean, I loved playing the Sims computer game back in the day. And you could like manipulate them to do things, to go to work or not go to the toilet. Sometimes I was a real biatch to my Sims. I was like, how torturous can I be? Clearly, I know, sick mind. But, right? So we're in a simulation. We're just going about the motions. And you'll see it because most people are literally living the same year 70 times. They literally, day in, day out, day in, day out, it's the same. They go to work, they come home, feed the kids, watch some Netflix, then to go to bed, then the next day, feed the kids, go to work, the same over and over again. They're in the matrix, they're in the illusion. They can't see life beyond. So the first part, and you can write this down, and I encourage you to share this message with lots of people because we need to still continue to awaken, right? Is the awakening out of the illusion. Actually remembering that you are not just this itty bitty human, that you actually are an individualization of the universe in this unique physical form. Okay? I talk Somalian in my sleep, hubby says. I love that. I love that. So the next part of the rising in consciousness is the remembrance of soul. This is the remembrance of who you truly are and where you've been. So understand that you're understanding your cosmic origin. Where do you derive from in our 12th dimensional galaxy? Let me know. I am Arcturus. I'm like Avatar. That's why I love Avatar so much. But are you Lyran? Are you Arcturus? Are you Sirius? Are you Pleiades? Where do you believe, or do you come from another galaxy system altogether? Because then we have star seeds. Oh, and that's a different conversation, right? But I want you to know that from also just to keep in mind that children born from the 21st of December 2012 onwards are actually already in the 5D energy. So they don't have a reptilian brain like we do. So our brain is so programmed for that flight or fight mode, right? Where we're triggered to stay alive. Our brain is programmed to keep us alive. Whether we have a good life or not, it doesn't matter as long as I'm keeping you alive, right? So children, however, born from the 21st of December 2012 onwards, they don't actually have a reptilian brain. They already are in a 5D frequency. Okay, so here's a way that you can identify whether you are from the Pleiades, Sirius, or Arcturus, because all of us come from the Lyran Stargate. So those that are from Arcturus are going to be the people that are really fighting for the earth, right? So I want you to think someone like myself. I'm really fighting for humanity. I am ensuring that we fulfill this prophecy. I have a whole masterclass that I'm teaching right now called Prophecy. I'm fighting. I want humanity to succeed. I want humanity to survive, right? So do you feel a cause like this inside of you? So Arcturians are the protectors of Earth, of knowledge, all of that kind of stuff. Sirius are your healers. They're the people that will end up being like your Reiki healers, your nurses, your social workers, people that are very much wanting to help people, personal trainers, all of that kind of stuff. So anything to do with like well-being and wellness and being doctors, things like this, they tend to be your Sirius. Now, if you are someone who is of Palladian, you will be someone that is very artistic, someone that is very connected to the earth and the elements. You will be someone who is expressive. You might write poetry. You might find that you're a very good artist. So they're the people that bring a lot of beauty and a lot of balance and harmony into our lives. They tend to be your teachers as well, those earth mother kind of roles. So what you're going to see is if you feel a vibrational shift and you're going to be like, well, I feel I'm all of them. Well, you might very well have different lives in all of them. But what is the thing that you truly feel you're bringing to this ascension right now? Are you fighting for humanity? Are you a healer? Or are you someone that is like a teacher? Now, you could say, Melissa, you're a teacher. I'm like, I am. My modality in saving the world and fighting for humanity is through my teaching. So there can sometimes, I guess, be overlaps, but I want you to know that ultimately my mission is to awaken humanity. Okay, and that's why I do what I do. That's why I work with the most amazing people in this world who are also on this mission. So remembrance of soul, remembering your past lives, where you come from. So all of your past lives have led to you becoming who you are. So understanding the journey of your past lives is really important in this next decade of ascension. Okay, so that is the remembrance of soul. Then, of course, we have these three principles that I believe are so important in rising in consciousness: love, divinity, and oneness. So these are the three pillars that I believe the new earth is being created in, and the codes that are in Lemuria: love, divinity, oneness. Love, which is what we derive from. Love and light is the universe. That is the stardust that I like to call that we are in this etheric form. So when we're not in a physical body, we are etheric. We are energy. Yes, we still are consciousness, right? We still are consciousness, and this is why we want to come into physical form, so we can give this consciousness the opportunity to create worlds. That is Charlie, right? He's barking at nothing. So many of you here are like healers. I'm not surprised. I attract a lot of healers because you got to clean up this mess that's happened, right? We're seeing so many people in our world that are not coping, that are committing suicide, that are full of depression, that are suffering with overwhelm and anxiety. You healers, you have a big job to do in supporting humans to grasp back their consciousness, to regain control of themselves, right? We give our power away too quickly. And that is what has happened through the programming of humanity. So what I want you to keep in mind is, if you are a healer, you've got a big job to do. In fact, we all have a big job to do. No one is more important than anybody else. We're all really important, because your message, your skills, your way of doing whatever it is that you do is going to touch the hearts and the lives of people in different ways. And if we were all like me, mediums and spiritual mentors, then the work would not get done, right? We need people creating beautiful artwork, healing artwork. We need people healing. We need people doing all these other things. So every single one of you is really important, and I want you to write that down. I am a significant part in this prophecy. I'm a significant person to fulfill this prophecy. If that aligns, like, I really want you to claim that, and I really want you to tap into the fact that your gifts that you have accumulated through all of your past lives have led you to be who you are today. So then we have infinite possibilities and potential. When we rise in consciousness, nothing is in limited or scarcity or lack, because we derive from an abundant universe. There is no rhyme or reason why your bank account should be low and have no money in it. There is no rhyme or reason why you should be sick. There is no rhyme or reason why you should not have love in your life with humans around you. None of these things make sense. They do not align with the fact that we derive from an abundant universe. But it is the programming in our minds, right, that we have been suck it into, right, that makes us believe that the only way for me to earn money is if I do this job and then I get some money in my bank account, and that's all I can ever earn. Or that I can't be loved because, I have intimacy issues, whatever it might be. Okay, so we have all of these programs, and so part of rising in consciousness is remembering that we are infinite. Your life does not end when you leave this earth, okay? The life of your loved ones in spirit haven't ended because they've left this earth. You are infinite. Anything is available and possible to you. So when we rise in consciousness, it's realizing that if it's possible for someone else, it's possible for us too, right? If it's possible for someone else, it's possible for you too. So stop being jealous. Stop being jealous. It's a wasted energy. Stop going, oh, she has so many people. Oh my goodness, look at Melissa. She has so many people on her masterclass and no one shows up to mine. It's like, stop being jealous. If it's available for me, it's available to you. Because we're all one, right? Remember, love, divinity, oneness. Divinity is important. And the reason we're not rising in consciousness is because we don't practice our connection to the universe. Okay? We don't sit and be. We go about life being human doings as opposed to being human beings. We believe we have to do in order to receive this. I have to do this to get this. If I write a book, that's how I'm going to be famous, because then I'm going to go on this book tour and whatever. And the universe is like, wait, I'm the grand master. I know exactly what your desires and everything are. And these are the infinite possibilities that await you. But you're only thinking of this, so limited. So I want you to think of the universe as this grand master, and that you can't even begin to conceptualize the greatness that awaits you. Right? If it's possible for me, it's absolutely available for anybody else. So instead, for example, if you are somebody that is finding it challenging to conceive, and you see all these pregnant women everywhere, instead of going, oh, she gets to have a baby and I don't, I want you to say, thank you, universe, for showing me what is available and possible. I'm excited that you are showing me that a baby is part of my future. Okay? Right? If you see somebody with the kind of success that you desire, say, thank you, universe, for showing me that this level of abundance is available. Thank you for showing me that I can attain this kind of level of wealth, of success, of impact. I know I'm so close, so much closer, because you're showing me this abundance is available to me too. Whoa! When you have that kind of perspective shift, this is what I mean by infinite possibilities and potential, right? I love that this is resonating with all of you, okay? Lots of love hearts on the screen, love hearts in the comments. This is a powerful teaching. I told you I was going to be sharing stuff that most people don't want you to know, because it will literally change your reality. Now, the next part of rising in consciousness is mindset and energetic reprogramming. I'm going to say you can try and rise in consciousness on your own. You totally can. But it's going to take you longer, it's going to be harder, and it's actually not the way we're supposed to do it. Okay? The way we're supposed to do it is together. And so it is so important for you to take the time to reprogram your mind, to reprogram the subconscious and the superconscious. The subconscious part of the brain is where you hold all your beliefs. The superconscious part of the brain is the quantum field. The quantum field is where all the juice is. But most people don't ever tap into the superconscious brain, because the subconscious brain is saying, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not deserving, you can't achieve your dreams. Who are you to think that you can change the world? Your mum is, was beaten by dad or whatever. It's like you've got all these subconscious programming running the show. So your belief system is ruling your life. So if you want to see results and everything in your life, if we want to rise in consciousness, we've got to reprogram the mind. And then we've got to do the energetic work. We've got to work with the plasma light. We have to work with embedding our bodies with this light so that we can activate the codes in our 12-strand DNA. Because that's where all the secrets, that's where all the keys are. Everything is within you. You are the key. If you can be manipulated, if we can mind control you, then you are just this puppet, right? That is going to really do nothing. And so no wonder you've been told that you will never achieve anything, that you have to go to university to get a good job. I went to university for 3 years to be a teacher, right? And even though I use teaching, right, I'm teaching right now, and I believe I'm a really amazing teacher. It was a waste of time, and not really, because nothing's a waste of time, but, I could still do what I do without having gone to university. So I want you to really see that anything is available and possible. So it is important to reprogram your mind and to work with energy. You are so powerful. No healer can heal you. You heal yourself. They can hold the energy, create the energy, but ultimately you heal yourself. And this is why working with someone like myself is really important, because I get it. I really understand what is going on, not just on Earth, but in the cosmos and universe as well. That is one of my gifts. This is how I save the world, right? Is activating all of you, is helping you to remember who you are, your gifts, your talents, your impact. And so when we work with our energy, we become really powerful. We become less manipulable. Is that totally a word? We're going to use it, right? You don't become susceptible to this stupid agenda of manipulating humanity for humanity to be essentially mind controlled as robots. Literally, that's what's happening. So this is the current mission. We are here. Also, the next point I want to say about rising in consciousness is to align with Christ consciousness. Now, Christ consciousness is not the belief of Jesus, right? Though you can totally believe in Jesus. Jesus himself worked with Christ consciousness. He understood the infinite power and creation of the universe, and he could use this to shift and change the reality. So Christ consciousness truly is what we are rising into. It is the consciousness of one. It is the consciousness of love. And so there is a saying in the Bible, don't ask me to find it and quote it, but it goes something like this. In order to know the Son, you have to know the Father. In order to know the Father, you have to know the Son. And so what that means is we have to, in order to rise in consciousness, we have to know God. And in order to know God, we have to know ourselves. And so if we can deter you from knowing who you are, from seeing your own power, from seeing how amazing you are in the gifts and how you can truly make this world a better place, then you're going to be disconnected. You're going to feel separate. You're not going to do the mission. You're not going to fulfill the prophecy because you're being too distracted saying, poor me, life sucks, I'm a victim, I'm this. Instead, I want you to find the power within inside of you that goes, I'm the universe and my life can literally change in an instant, like this, boom. When you shift your consciousness, when you embody Christ consciousness, which is rising out of the 3D and seeing yourself as the universe, fully embodied as the universe, that is where you truly are in this consciousness where you create worlds. So those are the things that I believe are helping us rise in consciousness. Now, the current mission in this decade is for us to do this. Okay, and I want you to answer this for me. If we were to look at our world right now, it does not abide by any of this. Awakening to the illusion, remembrance of soul, love, divinity, oneness, infinite possibilities and potential, mindset and energetic reprogramming, and Christ consciousness. It doesn't embody that at all. That's not how we live our lives. We live our lives in this very mundane, restricted, sabotaging, struggle, hardship, suffering kind of way. We're doomed to fail before we even start. Okay? And so our governance, our education system, our healthcare, everything like this isn't actually designed to get the most out of us. It isn't designed for us to succeed. It is designed for us to have a limited consciousness. And so I want you to think about this for a minute. If we were to rise in consciousness and we were to create a world where everyone is thriving, what would that look like? I want you to just think about this and share with me. What would governance look like? What would the education system look like? What would healthcare look like? What would agriculture look like? I want you to really think about this for a moment and go, whoa. Would the education system have standardized testing? Would it literally be sitting at your desk, learning from the teacher going, this is A, this is C, this is 2 + 2 = 4. Like, is this the best that we can do? Is this the best that we can do, our education system? Are we actually taught how to live in this world? Are we actually taught the skills and the knowledge that we are the universe, that we can literally have a thought and bring it into reality? No. What would the healthcare system look like? Would it look like shove a whole bunch of pills in your body because that's kind of like what's good for you, as opposed to let's get to the root cause. What is the emotional? What is the past life trauma? What has happened in your life? What is creating the symptom in your body, right? How can we heal this? Yes, is it Western medicine, or could it be a mix where there's holistic and there's natural healing and using Mama Earth? Like, is our healthcare system designed for success of humans? No, it is designed for you to be sick so that the companies can profit off your illness. If you don't believe me, do some soul searching on that. Okay, the healthcare system is designed for you to be sick constantly so that you are just this money-making machine for the powers of be, right? It is not in your favor. Now, are there good things about our healthcare system? Absolutely. Are there good things about education? Absolutely. Are there good things about governance? Absolutely. But do we really want one person to make the decisions for all? Is that truly the best way to govern the world, to govern countries, to govern societies, right? You've gone on rants of what it could be exactly. I'm sure we all have, right? So if we are to create this new world, how do we want these systems to look? How do we want there to, what kind of things can we do so that everybody gets a chance, so that everybody is loved and nurtured and has the ability to thrive? Hands up if that is the kind of world you want, because I do. I want every single human being to be able to thrive. I want everybody to be healthy, to be wealthy, to be happy, to have love, right? I want that for you. I really want that for you. And I can see lots of you saying, yes, 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 yes. That is the kind of world that we desire, that we want to create. And I want you to all know that you are the solution. And this next decade is going to take you on a journey to fulfill this prophecy where we are creating a new world. What would agriculture look like? Would it look like putting pesticides and all these chemicals, chemtrails and things like this on our fruit and vegetables so that it poisons our body? Or would we go back to what the Lyrans do and they sing to the plants? They sing to the plants in Lyra, in the Lyran dimension. They sing to the plants and they infuse positive thoughts into the plants so that when you consume them, it's all these beautiful nourishment going into your body. Could you imagine, right, if farmers took the time to sing to the plants, to nurture the plants, to really like how much healthier our bodies would be? Right? Let's start to think, what can we do? How can we change? Don't just have your finger up your butt saying, well, I can't do anything, right? Yes, you can. Open up your consciousness. This is what it's about. Your role this lifetime, you chose to be you, to create this new earth. If you are in my world, I don't want you to go, she's saying all of this and I just don't know. It can't be me. You would not be a vibrational match for my message, for this conversation, for this wisdom, for this knowledge, for everything that is being activated inside of you if you are not part of the change. It just wouldn't happen. You wouldn't feel a resonance to what I'm saying. You wouldn't want to listen. You wouldn't want to go, oh yeah, this woman is saying something and it's speaking to my soul. I'm not really sure exactly all of what she's saying, but holy moly, she is speaking something. Can you give me a drink of water, please, sweetheart? She's speaking something and I feel some kind of truth to what she's saying. Do we feel that? Yes? Let me know. Do you feel that? So I don't want you to start going into this itty bitty programming of poor me, no, I can't be the change, or what could I do, right? I want you to truly dive deep inside of you and go, yes, I am. I am. And I am willing to get curious as to how I fulfill this mission. So I want you to write this down. I want you to really, yes, 100%. I know, right? I know some of you know because you're in my world, right? You work with me. You're part of my programs. You're working one-on-one with me. You're working with a leader who truly is here to support this mission on Earth. I work with some of the most incredible people that are creating systems in education, in healthcare, in agriculture, and all these different things. And this is why I know what the new earth is going to look like, because I work with the people that are front and center. But I also work with people who are wanting to find love, that are wanting to get a promotion in their jobs. Like, I work with all different types of people, because when you can rise in consciousness, then you can empower others to see what is available. I do not want you to live this life going, abundance is not available to me. It's like saying, I can't breathe the oxygen. And even though like you've got a nose and you can breathe the oxygen, like, it's just silly, right? So I want you to think of abundance as the air you breathe. It's available. Like, you can't not become available to the air. Okay? When is the new earth coming? 2033. Okay? So this is something that I want you to just sit with. When you start to raise your consciousness, you'll open up to see resources that were always there for you. Okay, when you start to raise your consciousness, you'll open up to see resources that were always available to you. When you rise in consciousness, you might go, whoa, I've discovered Melissa. She talks about all this stuff that most people don't even want to talk about. I've come into your world because you've risen in consciousness. You'll go, wow, I didn't even realize that there was this organization that helps turn ocean rubbish into jackets. You'll start to become aware. You'll be like, wow, where has this book been all my life? Right? You'll start to access resources that have always been there, but you were too blinded in the illusion to see that it was there. So I want you to really take rising in consciousness as something that you do, not only for you, but for the rest of us as well. We can't just have one person rising in consciousness. We've all got to rise together. And so when you rise, when you start to embody that you are Christ consciousness, when you start to awaken from the illusion, when you start to remember who you are as a soul, when you start to come from that place of love, divinity, and oneness, right, you will start to have different opportunities present themselves. But guess what? Those opportunities were always there, because we are only aware of 4% of what's around us. Our conscious mind can only pick up 4% of what is actually available. That means there is a whole 96% of resources and people and all the things in the world that you can't even see right now, because you haven't risen in consciousness. You are still going, I'm this itty bitty human, and all I want to do is have enough money to pay my bills. And all I want is somebody to love me for me. Yet you don't even connect with yourself. How can someone love you if you don't even give time to love yourself? Can you start to see why humanity is failing before we've even started? Okay, so the prophecy, right? The prophecy gets to be fulfilled over this next decade. Our mission is uplifting the world as we know it, absolutely. Right? As I grow myself, the potential of everything around me becomes more obvious, and it's a little like, dang, if only I had known that all along. Yes, but we can't judge ourselves for not knowing it, because we had to grow in consciousness. And what we know now, if you continue to do this in a year from now, whoa, your reality is going to be so different. You're not even going to know yourself per se, because you will have grown in your ability to work with possibility and potential, instead of restriction and limitation and all of that kind of stuff. I really struggle doing human chores now. I agree. Hire a cleaner, right? Raising consciousness that you become so in universal flow with wealth that you can hire a cleaner. And then by doing that, you get somebody who makes money doing something that you personally don't like, but they love. If we don't have cleaners, how will the world ever be clean? Right? So I want you to really think that your abundance gets to add more abundance into the lives of others. So it is actually your duty to become really wealthy so that you can put that money in the resources where people are doing things. Now, I'm not personally going to clean up the ocean. Okay, that's not my mission. But I would love to fund money to the people that are, right? I can do that. I'm not going to necessarily become a politician. Okay, I'm definitely not. But I would love to fund somebody that is holistic, that is really looking for the goodness of humanity. I would love to fund their campaign, right? So your abundance, your wealth gets to spread and raise consciousness for humanity. So I want you to stop being poor. I want you to stop going, I just need enough money. I just need like, enough to pay my bills. This is not what you came on earth to do. You came here to raise in consciousness, and rising in consciousness is to be wealthy, is to be rich in experiences and resources and opportunities, not limited. You shouldn't, it is not the human experience to look at your bank account and go, I can't afford it, so I'm not going to do this. This is why it's important to raise in consciousness. So stick around Melissa Espinasse for a little bit longer, and you'll start to really absorb everything that I do, and you'll be able to start shifting your consciousness. Now, can you shift your consciousness quicker in my world? Absolutely. You come into my paid programs, right? Why? Because it's a different energy. However, if you're just starting out, being in these free spaces is a good place to be. The only thing is you have to action it yourself as opposed to being supported. And this is why mindset and energetic reprogramming is so important, because these codes in your body in our 12th dimension, our 12 strand DNA is being activated. Who feels that listening to me right now? There's something happening in your body, or there's something happening in your mind. Let me know. Do you feel it? Do you like, I don't really know what it is, Melissa, but something is happening. You're doing something to me, woman, right? Let me know, right? Let me know what you are feeling. Yes, exactly. Yes. You're feeling it. There's something happening. There's some level of truth that you are like, whoa, right? I feel it. There's something happening in my body. There's an energetic shift happening. There's this remembrance of my soul that is happening right now, right? And you're all saying it. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I feel it. Why? Because what I speak is what you know to be true from your soul. You have just been programmed in your mind to be so disconnected from your soul that now you are like, oh, what she's saying is doing something to me because I've been in this disconnect for so long. Right? I feel it. I have to say too, having the paid space, I can jump on Kajabi any time of day, no matter what. Constant access to me is literally like having constant access to the universe. I'm just going to say that. I really own the fact that anyone who comes into my world feels so loved, feels so seen, feels so supported, feels so held, because I truly believe I am a mirror of how the universe sees you. Okay? So I don't necessarily believe that you have to spend money to make money, but I do believe that it is important for you to break through this barrier that has you thinking that you can't afford anything, because that is a programming that is failing humanity, and that is part of the great master plan, not the prophecy, but it is part of the great master plan to eradicate humanity. Because if you don't have money, then you become dependent on a governance that does not have your back. You become dependent on systems like healthcare and education that is not set up for the success of humanity. So wealth creation has been something that most people really struggle with, because it is one of the pathways to freedom. Yeah. So wealth is my pathway to freedom. Write that down. And most people, especially spiritual people, are like, I don't need money, right? I have the universe. It's like, dude, the universe is like, would you take some money so you can have your message reach even more people, right? So you can do more good in the world. How many of you would help the hungry, would help those that are suffering in war-torn countries? Like, I know if you had millions and millions of dollars in your bank account, you would do such good in the world. You would do so much good. You would eradicate this corruption. You would eradicate child trafficking. You would eradicate these systems that are completely failing humanity. Exactly. I know you would. So the biggest con of all time is the programming that's been put in your mind from the matrix, from the illusion that you are restricted to the amount of money you get to have, right? Remember, in rising in consciousness, that infinite possibilities and potential. Every time I invest money in myself, I always say this comes back to me tenfold. I always say to my clients, when you invest in me, please do so with a big smile on your face, knowing that this is coming back to you tenfold. Trust that the universe wants you to succeed. The universe wants you to win. The universe wants you to create more and more and more and more abundance, because that is how we rise in consciousness. Okay? So, what is the Lemurian Code? What is the Lemurian Code? Why is Lemuria so important? For those of you that have been with me from the beginning, you will remember that I talked about Tara, Lemuria, Atlantis, Gaia, and the New Earth. And how the New Earth is very much embedded like Lemuria. And Lemuria has so many codes to teach us how to be in this earth, this new earth we are creating. And so as I talked about love, divinity, oneness, Lemuria, right, is a heart-based civilization. It's about love. It's this energy from the heart. When you love another person, oh my gosh, does it tickle your life, right? Life becomes delicious when you love someone, whether it be a romantic partner, whether it be your children, whether it be your parents, whether it be a pet, right? Oh my gosh, there's love just light up your life. So right now, we are not a heart-based civilization. What would you say we are? We're not heart-based. We are fear-based. We are a fear-based civilization. The more fear we can put on, right, the more deterred we are from the mission, from the prophecy. So Lemurians are heart-based. It is compassion. It is understanding. It is forgiveness. It is gratitude. It's from the heart. I want you to ask yourself, what would love do? Right? What would love do in this situation? How would love respond? When you get in your head and you want to have an argument with your partner, or you want to scream at your kids, I'm learning on that one. I'm doing my best. But sometimes I have to remind myself, what would love do in this moment? Right? What would love do in this moment? Love would change everything, absolutely. So when we're creating this new earth, when we're creating these systems, when you're somebody who's going to play your part in education, or you're going to play the part in governance or agriculture or whatever it is, I want you to think of what would love do? How would love speak? If you're going to be an inspirational speaker, if you're going to be an author, how would you let the heart speak to the people that are listening to you, or the people that are reading your content or your books or whatever it is that you're doing? Right? So Lemuria teaches us to come from the heart as opposed to coming from fear. I guarantee that the primal reaction to how you do anything is fear. If I was to say to you right now, there's going to be a flood, you're going to rush out and buy all the toilet paper in the world. And I'm just like, I don't understand the toilet paper thing, right? Your fear-based response, as opposed to going, everything is taken care of. I have everything that I need. I am fully supported by the universe. All resources are available to me. right? Our primal response is fear, is not heart. It is not heart. And so this is what Lemuria teaches us. And that's why the Lemurian codes are so important. As opposed to Atlantis, Atlantis was very much of the self, right? So the systems, I feel like I wrote something and I'm like, where did I write that? I feel like I wrote it somewhere and it was really good, but Atlantis was all about the self, which is great, right? But it doesn't serve the collective. So, oh, here we go. I wrote it here for Lemurian Codes. Not of the self, but of oneness. So you're here to be of service. Yes, you're here to share your skills, your knowledge, the way that you see the world. You're meant to be known by people around you. You're here to heal and release karma and genealogy binds and all of that kind of stuff, right? It's not about just you. It's about the collective. So it's of oneness, and we've forgotten that. We are like, this is my family, right? This is mine, as opposed to this is available for all of us. If you have knowledge of how to create wealth and you're not sharing that, then that is very selfish. That is of the self and not of oneness. Imagine if I didn't share this knowledge of the prophecy with all of you, right? I'm giving my time for free. I'm here. It's been an hour and a half, and I'm giving my time for free to all of you because I'm of service to the world. I am here because I believe in oneness. I believe in unity. I believe that if I can share my knowledge and wisdom and empower someone else, then that's how we rise in consciousness. How dare I keep all of this knowledge that I have to myself? And this is why I teach what I know. This is why I teach so many different elements of spirituality, of business, of personal development, because I've walked the walk, right? I've done it. I've succeeded. I have the mastery in it. And I want you to have the same. I want all of what I know to be available to you too. So how dare you keep this knowledge all for you? It's not going to run out. The more you have, the more you have, right? The more bills you have, the more bills tend to happen, right? So the more money you have, the more money you have. The more love you have, the more love you have, right? I want you to really tap into the fact that, are you being selfish or are you being of service? Let me know which one feels better. Being selfish or being of service? You can go, honey, if you want. My daughter's like watching going, oh my God. She's like hungry. Go make some lunch. It's all good, right? We started late because of the technology issues. So she is hungry and, you know, she's got swimming. So she's got to eat, right? What Lemuria also teaches us is that we are connected to the infinite flow of creation, which means thoughts create reality. What you think, you create. If you believe you are not worthy, you will create unworthy situations in your life. If you do not believe you are beautiful, you will create a reality where you have weight issues or you have ailments in your body. Whatever your thoughts are, remember that is your consciousness that you are plugged into, will create your reality. And so with the Lemuria codes, they remind us, they knew that they were one with infinite source and infinite creation. And so Lemuria reminds us, when we tap into the energy of Lemuria, what we're reminded of is that we are infinite. You are not limited. You are not restricted. Anything and everything is available to you. Remember, when you rise in consciousness, you'll start to notice the resources that were always there all along that you were so blinded you couldn't see. Right? In my awakening process, I have transformed from selfishness to service. I love that. Being of service, I want to remind people of their power. These are my people. I love you. These are the people that will create this new earth. These are the people that will fulfill the prophecy. And I want you to stop thinking that you can't, because you can. Every single one of us will. We have to dive deep in ourselves first. Put yourself in the spaces where you get to change your belief system, where you get to be opened up to a different perspective and different realities. Choose to learn from leaders that are showing up in their authenticity and integrity and in sovereignty for humanity. Right? That is how I work with anybody that gets to empower my brain. Are they authentic to who they are? Are there an integrity to what they teach? And are they sovereign? Are they here to be of service to humanity? Are they bettering humanity in some way? Are you that person? You don't have to be empowering thousands of millions of people in the world. You could be empowering your children. You could be empowering your partner, right? Don't go thinking it always has to be people in the world. Remember, everything has a ripple effect. And so Lemuria reminds us that we create thought into reality, and so that we are infinite, that we are tapped constantly to the infinite flow of the universe. Okay? The ease of manifestation. Manifestation isn't hard. We make it hard because we like to feel justified. Like, okay, like I made $1 million this year, but I worked 60 hours a week for it. All right. Like, we want to feel justified in our success and our manifestations, when really manifesting is really easy. You think it creates into reality. Yes, there will be some aspect of momentum that has to be put in place, right? But you will create it. So that is what Lemurians teach us. That we are source, that we all get the opportunity to thrive. Who truly wants to live in a world where only a selective few get to have the lives that they desire? That is the biggest con of all time. Each and every single one of you deserves to have the life that you seek. Is it going to be the same life that I seek? No. I have no desire to go camping in the woods. I would rather stay in a 5-star resort. Right? We're all different in the kind of lives that we want to experience. Does me wanting to go in a 5-star resort make me better than someone who wants to go camping in the woods? No. We're all different. We all want to experience love and abundance in our own unique ways, but it's all available to us. We just have to choose that it is. And you have been programmed to believe that it's not. I just want everyone to have an amazing life full of riches, no matter what riches they want. Absolutely. That is my desire. And that is why I get up every single day and do what I do. That is why I teach these masterclasses, often for free. Why I come on Facebook Live. Why I spend 3 hours or more when I do Mediumship Thursday pulling cards for people. Like, I give my time to be of service. Not because I'm wanting an outcome, but because I deeply care for humanity. I know that when I leave this earth, people will say she was a good human. She changed my life. She empowered me because of something I did with her or her message. Something changed in me. I know that because I'm here of service to humanity. And all of you have the ability to do this. You're just not open to that. And that is what Lemuria reminds us. And the codes embedded from Lemuria are in our DNA. So it is up to us to activate this. And so I want to share with you that I have this amazing program called the Lemurian Prophecy. I'm so excited. You can see I'm like, so excited. I have this incredible program, Lemurian Prophecy. It starts in a week from now. If you're watching this live, the replay, Lemurian Prophecy may no longer be available. But if you want it, just message me and we'll sort it out for you. But Lemurian Prophecy is a 3-week course where you get to dive into the codes of Lemuria. Everything that I've talked about right now, if you truly want to fulfill the prophecy, if you really want to understand what you're here to do, if you want to activate the ascension that is available within your 12-strand DNA, the Lemurian Prophecy is why I've created this program. It was a download direct from the universe, and the universe said, Melissa, you need to teach this. I was just going to teach New Earth Femme that I did last year. I was like, I'm just going to do that because I want to do something easy. And the universe was like, no, Melissa, Lemurian Prophecy. This knowledge has to go and be experienced and felt by as many people as possible. And so Lemurian prophecy will take you on a journey of diving deep into your life in Lemuria and understanding the codes so that you can receive the download and the ideas for creating this new earth in the way that it is meant to be for you. Right? Oh, some of you are like, I want to be in the vortex for life. It is the best place to be in my world. If you want to know what the vortex is, just message me. But there is an opportunity for you to join Through the Realms as well, which is my past life program that I'm currently running. Through the Realms is the most amazing program. And Through the Realms is about diving into your past lives. And why it's the perfect partner for Lemurian prophecy is because we are diving into your past lives from Through the Realms, and then we dive into the past life of the earth in Lemurian prophecy. So they're kind of like a foundation of each other. So if anything that I've said today is really feeling in resonance with you, if you are like, wow, I am feeling so activated, I feel like I want to be fulfilling this prophecy, you can totally go out there and do it on your own. But I want to be able to support you to do that. So there are two ways that you can be part of Lemurian prophecy. You can be part of Lemurian prophecy on its own, or you can be part of Lemurian prophecy as a bundle with the Past Life Karma Masterclass, Through the Realms, and Lemurian prophecy. When you grab the bundle, you're saving a whole ton of money that then you can put into other places in your development. If you want to be in everything, of course, I have a few Vortex babes here that are in everything that I do. They don't even have to think about it. They're in it. So my invitation is, if you have felt something today watching this, whether it's live or on the replay, I really would love for you to come into the Lemurian prophecy. Lemurian prophecy is an extension to this. If you have felt like, wow, I really understand there is this bigger picture, that I'm part of a 300,000-year-old plan, that I was created as a hybrid to come onto Earth, and that the whole destiny of our 12th dimensional galaxy rests in my hands, and I want to be a part of fulfilling that prophecy, then this is the invitation. This is the invitation to dive into that. So I am going to share with you the Lemurian prophecy link, if you would like to come into that. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Bear with me. Hold the phone, caller. Here we go. There is a payment plan option, so there is an opportunity for you to come into this at any level. So this is the link for the Lemurian prophecy. This is the link for the Lemurian prophecy. If you want to come in the bundle, if you also want to do Through the Realms, shout out to anybody that is doing Through the Realms. It is amazing. What we are unlocking, remember, as I said, rising in consciousness is that soul remembrance. So it's important for you to remember who you've been so that you understand who you're meant to be. And if this is feeling for you and you're like, whoa, I want to be a part of that, then I would suggest that you come into the bundle. The bundle, I'm going to put the link here in a minute. Just bear with me. Let me get there. Hold on. Where is the bundle? Most people have come into the bundle. So most people have come into doing Lemurian prophecy because they are doing the bundle. So this is the Feb Bundle. Now everything is in New Zealand dollars. So if you are in the US, for example, this is a really good exchange rate for you. If you are in other places around the world, this is going to be a really good value for you. So you have the option, Lemurian prophecy. I really would love to see all of you in that. Make it happen. Big borrow steal, whatever you got to do. It is such an easy investment. It's a bit of a no-brainer. I've made it that way. This program should be worth thousands. What I'm teaching here in prophecy should have been worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and I'm willing to share it for free. Why? Because I want you to change your reality so that you can fulfill the prophecy. I'm here to support you. I want to be able to show you that you are so powerful. So at least come into Lemurian prophecy. But if you can, do both and do the bundle. This is going to really open you up. And if you can't do either, then I hope that this masterclass of the prophecy has allowed you to let your mind percolate and think and play with the idea that you truly are part of this great cosmic plan and you have this destiny to fulfill, and that hopefully you have been awakened to understanding why. Hopefully, I have pieced together some of the gaps for you that have allowed you to understand this great plan and how you have been lied to and how you have been made to fail and how you can rise above it. So, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you that were live with me in creating this space. It has been my deepest honor. I appreciate all of you that had to navigate the technology hiccups. Like I said, this message was so powerful and the powers of be did not want me to share it. So thank you for holding the space for it to be able to happen. If you are feeling fulfilled, thank you. If you are joining me on the next leg of the mission, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to lead you, to take you to the next level of your ascension. I'm truly here to support the rise of humanity. So I thank you all so much. I appreciate your thank yous. I hope to see you in Lemurian prophecy or in everything through the realms as well. Remember, from my heart to yours, that you are a gift to the world. Together we awaken, together we align, and together we ascend. We have this prophecy to fulfill. The question is, will you be the one fulfilling it? Loving you all so much. Thank you for this beautiful portal. Here's to us, rising in consciousness, rising in ascension, creating this new earth.